news. And we have our light moments too by chit-chatting about issues that affect our day-to-day life. We stay right here on the Sundown. Join in and be part of the show on iRadio, Your Eye on South Sudan. The Sundown. For the news, views, opinion, debates and discussions. Listen to who is who talking about issues that affect our country and continent. Only on the Sundown, Your Eye on South Sudan.
Hello and welcome to the Sundown Show now radio with me, Madrama James. Today is 30th of June 2025. This program comes to you Monday to Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. for comprehensive look at the daily events, the latest information, in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and exciting surprises. To be part of the show, call us on 0911-22986-986 or send for us a text message on 0913-986-986. If you can't access the radio, we are also on Facebook, X, YouTube, and more. You can also stream this broadcast live by logging to that our website at www.iradio.org. Coming up. Well, today we begin the show with a data report in which South Sudan has been ranked the world's poorest country by GDP per capita in 2025, according to data from the International Monetary Fund and published by Visual Capital. The report places South Sudan at the bottom of the global list with a per capita GDP of just $251, reflecting a deep-rooted economic challenges driven by conflict, weak institutions, and limited investment in infrastructure and education. Most of world's poorest nations remain concentrated in sub-Saharan Africa, where inequality and underdevelopment persist despite global growth trends. GDP per capita, which measures economic output per person, helps illustrate how wealth is generated, and in this case, how far behind some countries still remain. To understand more about the IMF report and what does it mean for South Sudan, I spoke to economist Stephen Ihude, who explained the implications of the country's low GDP ranking. Let's listen to what he has to say in this exclusive interview.
The GDP implies gross domestic product. It refers to the goods that our country has produced in a period of time, assuming normally for 1 year. And those goods that we produce, those goods and services, is what has been calculated as the gross domestic product, and which have not been deducted. That's why it's called gross. So this GDP that is being referred to, it includes all the goods produced and services produced by South Sudanese and even non-South Sudanese. And in this case, you can know that the sources of businesses or incomes in the country here are owned by foreigners, or you could say 80% or 90% businesses are run by foreigners, meaning the incomes that has been put into this GDP, gross domestic product, it belongs to foreigners. It's not our income. That is another income here. We cannot be saying that we are rich or we are somehow a little poorer because we counted the incomes of other countries. That is one point to keep starting. Maybe the best measure of our status, economic status, could have been the net national product, and which means we could have deducted the incomes belonging to other countries from these businesses which are owned, and they take theirs. And then we will be also try to bring out, if there is anything abroad which has been made, for example, our people in diaspora, we have made some incomes there. We bring those incomes to the country. Then we add what we made locally here. We add that to give us the real what we call the net national product, which is to make a reflection of what we have made by our own as a country. So that gross product which you have referred to is somehow misleading. Okay, that is one point of departure. And then also another point of view is that when we mean that it is poorer, whether net national product is poor or low, or gross domestic product is low, we are saying this income compared to what we have been making to make anybody make a living. For example, somebody in the village making a living, now that person, that income is not able to make that person or a family to buy the normal goods and services that it used to consume either in a day or in a month in the livelihood. It is getting less. This is what we mean by poorer. And also, we mean that it's poorer. The income in actual sense, it has been depreciated by inflation. So the income is another factor which made the person not be able or a family not to continue consuming at the same level that it used to consume before in terms of goods, actual real goods and services at the same time.
You say GDP simply means goods and services produced within a certain period of time. Now, let's have economic status. Like for a South Sudanese, what does this really entail in terms of calculation? Like how much are South Sudanese likely to make in a day, given this particular report, for example?
Yes, we are saying what has been produced is the addition of what everybody produces in the country. Whether you are a farmer, you are what, you are a business produce, and we talk about that, we divide by the number of working people. That means excluding children, excluding those disabled and those who are not capable of producing. We divide by them, and then in order to get the per capita, that is per person. And that is the one way to check how much whether we are progressing in terms of production or we are not. Okay. Sometimes in terms of that, we have been only relying on oil and to say that our GDP, but GDP which has been inflated by the oil output, it is not a true reflection also of how we have produced as a country individually here. And the outcome of it is also another issue. That it is being used for the welfare of the people all. It is another factor here. It is used all for the welfare of people. What is being made by the oil, we can say that GDP is actually truly what we call the human development index. Okay, it will be reflected there, meaning that people are benefiting from it. I think that we may have a high GDP, but it does not really benefit the people. So also the other factors that we are doing here, even if we have government that oil money is there, is generated, but if not able to be accessed through health delivery system, education system, roads and all this, so it means that we people become poorer because we are not able to access these things through education that we are able to access through government service delivery or education and others. Okay, so it means we are poorer. That is the other level of it that we can explain how these things are affected. Even government revenues are affected. The oil cut. When the oil cut is just similar to individual income, government also have their income which is affected. If that oil is affected, the income of government is low, from it the revenue decline. So individual income decline. So all this is resulting into the country getting poorer, and individuals as a result cannot give it when the country is poorer because they cannot their product capacity are not producing quite as expected.
You talked of the issue of that fuel. Given South Sudan heavy reliance on oil exports, what strategies can the country adopt to justify its economy and reduce vulnerability to global oil market fluctuations?
Well, there are a lot of factors. The key drivers of the economy, the key drivers, of course, political stability would be a factor. And political stability is the key factor here. And then, of course, this oil needs to be diversified. Don't rely on it. We have other sectors, investments in agriculture and value addition processing. We have got forest products like the timbers. This can be processed, value added into other products to create more jobs. As we create more jobs from this diversification of the economy, we will be able to enhance income. So that means more jobs are created, and then this translated to income. This is translated further into government generates more revenue. And as we go like that, this is how we'll be able to get the economy turning around. But the key drivers have to first address both the economic and political instability of the country is very, very important.
You said for South Sudan to have economic turnaround, they need also to shift their focus into agriculture. Currently, there's issue of that insecurity and infrastructure. I'm talking about road infrastructure. In these circumstances, how possible or how practical is this possible really to divert from agriculture, from oil reliance to that agriculture?
And I said that economic and political stability is key. When there is, when this is settled, that means investment can be able to go into agriculture. It can also go into other sectors. But if there are constraints in political and economic environment, then we don't expect investment to be flowing into the sector we're talking about.
And another issue currently citizens are facing is the issue of those cash shortages and limited access to financial services. What role can monetary policy reforms and financial sector financial sector development play in stabilizing the economy and fostering sustainable growth?
Yeah, the monetary policy could be a medicine, but if it is not well mixed medicine, so I think it cannot heal. It cannot treat this issue of foreign currency shortages in the sector here. What I'm saying, the monetary policy should tighten the loopholes that are making money. There is quite money in the economy here, but it's not circulating in the official market. The banking system is not circulating there. It's just circulating outside the banking system. That's a result. It cannot be accounted for. How much money that we have as we talk now, we don't know. If we were to know, because we have to know, we are able to control, we can stimulate it, and supply, reduce it, and blame the supply, or the demand side or the supply side, we can manipulate it. But if these instruments are not effective, that means any monetary policy cannot really be able to be effective to influence the issues of money going back to the official channels. Okay, because the banking systems are completely measured, they are not regulated, or the regulations are inadequate to that these loopholes of the things going outside. And like I said the other day, it is only through incentives the banking systems are forced to provide incentives for any deposit. So, but you cannot deposit, and at the end of it is costing you. You have your money in the bank, it is costing you. And then also at the same time, you have those money is idle because they are not giving us loans for people to borrow and make more money out of it. So, and you never know, maybe this money is going outside the country to be used for businesses outside as loans. So all this, what's called the foreign money externalization, you never know whether this kind of things are the ones giving the opportunity or the inability to account for the quantity, the monetary supply that is in a country at the point in time, and rendering monetary policy ineffective.
Talking about these sustainability growth policies, are there any successful regional models that South Sudan could adopt to address this issue you just mentioned?
No, I did not. You didn't get me right. I didn't say there should be restrictions in cash withdrawals. It's not like that. In fact, the more you restrict withdrawals, the more the next it is worse. You like put it fuel on the fire. assuming that anybody has got deposit the foreign currencies or local currencies. So if you want to withdraw for a particular purpose, maybe to attend for health services in a family or in service, you can't get it. You think tomorrow you're going to deposit, it is not possible. So those are incentives. They don't really attract depositors to put their money in the bank system. So people should not agree whether you've got foreign currency account, they should not believe. You should be able to access them at any time, you know. So the assurances, that kind of assurances will be able to put it from the government in the bank system because anytime they can get it, it's there. But that really is not getting right there.
Okay. Earlier on, you said for a GB, that's a gross domestic product of a country to do well, it needs a political stability. At the moment, there are reports of that insecurity and issues of that clashes. For example, in parts of Barakazal, Upper Nile, and some parts of that greater Equatorial region. Now, what are the most critical steps needed to create a secure environment that encourages investors, improve governance, and support economic recovery?
Well, I think the answer there is just to address the root causes of those kind of conflicts. What are the root causes? Then if they are addressed, I think there is no fire without there is no smoke without fire. So there could be everything a good root causes. If they are addressed, I think all should be well. And it's the political driver that really brings the cause of that conflict. It is not, it is not caused by anything else. Okay.
Finally, how can international cooperations and peace-building initiatives be aligned with the economic development goals of South Sudan?
So everything should be focusing first of all to get in the Bible says 6 years first the kingdom of God. All other things shall be added unto you. So you have to seek first everybody, whether for whatever, they need to get effort towards creating economic and political stability. Then all other things shall be added. Naturally, they will not happen.
What do you mean particularly in terms of economy like?
So all effort in this should just be the channel towards addressing the many drivers for stability. Instability. So I think then after that, I think all other things which have been, because this has been a constraining investment, constraining in other pursuant development programs. So if this is addressed, I think all should be well.
Well, that's how my interview with Stephen Ihude, an economist, ended. It's your turn now to call us on 0911022986. Based on that particular report, what do you think South Sudan needs to focus on to improve its economy and lift that people out of poverty? 0911022986. Hi, radio.
Hello, Madrama.
Yes, Lul.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Not too bad. Thank you for having me on the program.
Welcome.
Madrama, this doesn't come as a surprise because the country has been run as one of the world's poorest countries. But this is always attributed to due to oil cuts, due to war in neighboring Sudan, in which the oil stopped flowing there. It's not the case. So I put it in the light, it's due to mismanagement. This is what impoverished the nation, because this country, this East African country, is rich in natural resources, and we can't be run as a world one of the poorest countries because we have resources, And if we have this question, where on earth is revenues generated from the resources goes? And this answer always remains, this question remains unanswered, brother. We have many countries around the world, such as the Gulf countries, are oil-producing countries in Middle East, and now they are looking beautiful because the resources have been spent on similar development. And unlike this country, we wonder where the resources go. So this we should, the government should try to improve it because our country is rich in resources, and our resources should be used in a way that can be beneficial to everyone in the country. Every citizen of the country should enjoy the wealth of the nation.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your thought with us, Lul. Zai Anasuma may report bita IMF bugul Junuba Sudan wa min dawal tanin albardo miskinin alma indu haya finaya bita 10 mia finaya bita 3 gal kamanas gad bielga gurushbo wa le kalam de biyeji zede nina suma min Steven Hude bugul gal juzu min business sta Junuba Sudan de ajnabiya gata bimasiku ففي بيسيبوا ين جنوبين كتير في شهاري جزء منه ما عنده شغل ففي المسا نقاد باسالي تدير كده جنوب السودان نعمل شنو عشان كيف يغيروا سيقادة وكمان يكون بلد ال citizens bitomon wale muwathinin bitomon biyagder elga gurush وكمان بيقدم بتنمية بتابلت 09 وايد ولا 2 986 nam indina resources indina oil indina شنو لكن تبيلغا ناس دابدل كله لكن مواطنين جزء منهم ما قاعد بيستفيد ده وسط ريبورت ما قاعد بيستفيد من حاجات الكل في جزء منه معقولات ساكت في يوم ممكن زول ما بيقدر يلقى حاجة لو باكله يعني بقدر نوم بجيان وقروش لو ناس الشغالين بكون زاد في يوم بالكامل ما بيقدر يلقى سالة دولار واحد وجت 10,000 ولقدام دل ما بيقدر يلقى فبدا بيعملوا شنو ولا 60,000 اي راديو.
Hello.
ايوه.
These foreigners, they get a permission from from this government. So is it a crime or is it a sin to say frankly that those people who brought these foreigners and give us this situation which is very pathetic, for them to go, is it a crime? If these people can tell Jesus go, or anyone in this world go, why not just tell these people, you guys have done enough and we have failed the country. Let this election come and you go, and the new government will tell these business people, foreigners whom have 10% or 20% or their children are working with these, then their companies to go back and we re-establish our country again. Thank you.
Now, a quick question. Okay. Akuna gad bimana lo zede maalu zaman ma jashan kif junubin kamani midu sika le ajnabi قال زمن بتاكن وصلوا وارجع تكون في بلد بتاكن لكن في مرحلة ناس والناس وصل فاقرة تبي يلقى ما في بلد القايد براو ما في بلد ولا دولة القايد بس بمواطنين بتو براو كده ناس ما بارو من ده هاي راديو. أيوة جوزيف.
جوزيف كاني من لوانا وسنتا كوتاي.
مرحبا جوزيف.
تعرف ده سؤال ده لنا مرات الجنوبين أنا قاعد أصل لفوس بتاعنا تبراو رجال بقى قاعد أصل نفسك في كلام بتاع إيكونومي بتاعنا ولا جو بتاعنا أصل نفوق ده في ناس بيموتوا عجل بم كلام بتاع تسمية ساكت تعرف حاجة لنا يعني عشان أجد شوية بقل الله جماعة ما يعني كلام بتاع security إتعرف جوبا له أنا ممكن ما بيبلين citizen بتاع جنوب أصلا ليه كل لغة في جوبا ليه في جوبا لكن security زول يعني كايد كانوا ناس كتير بيجيبها لأنه أسرومون في ناس ذاته ما عندي نية صنبيني المدينة لأنه منوني وجاني في بلاد زي ما جروا في زراعة وشنو تبي كذا منظر كلا سريبتا كني بري itu hulda ketala sunu tabi sulu في السوق tabi بي بارات لكن بكلام تا insecurity على أساسه يا ناس كلهم ناس بيقول قال بدلنا بيموت الجل بيجلنا تجيب بدو كده بدو كده أصلا نارا بيجوا نارا جيني بس براندات نسلنا أصلا كيف حياتي ما ودرغام أندر نكلم لكم بتاعنا الفي موجود كان مباص منا ولا بزومنا طبعا أنا بيانو كانوا أنا ديل ما بينهم كان في روادنا بونس لكن كانوا ده كانوا جسات أجانا بيانو ساكما بدنا كانوا حاجة بونس رأي ده جسات أو كاربوريشيت أو أصلا كده تقول رد معروف لكن ما زده حاجة بونس ده هم كان بيجا ناس من دراسة ناس برنامجين ناس بتاع برنامج دراسة ناس مول شغال مكتب تا information دراسة الناس اللي تاهم في رواديني من collect voices تا this week ده كلام ولا تا the whole man مو برا ودي في media في مو برا باتن برنامج نعم مو باس ما يعني كوريتا citizen في ناس في ناس كان بونس في راديو بونس أدير bonusu ajal al bag al kulu citizen ta jinu bon dere wala nas kulu dere akita banana bonusu lakin ajere bes kanu gisa tan naini janana o naslulu jini amoses sultan jose maria khan de gisa tan naini bes kira kala lakin dena gisa be hakta kalam binu anna der insecurity de gede hillo kalam pito lanno kan kalanda insecurity lenna mo nenna man insecurity anna ma create insecurity fi belete akuma bitana umon yao disagree umon na umon kara yao gibelen kap taban kan nas abo be kan indi masakala tibet sometimes be attack yal kes malo abo sakel bo take dijar he betamon demone beraka bolekum
tepta be mana shune ya Joseph
ana be manna fi kalande kulu andera san akoma da san nanna jisuligin nama san nabi msuf nanna suyi yani birigo economy question kun mortan anna dere karam bita insecurity de elo nas kullu yamsu fi bilad amul zira وناس وسموا من شغل لكم هذا نعمل الزراعة ومرتين ما في حاجة بطالنا أكيد 100% كلام بده إقتصادي ده كلام بده تعب الفير كله بينشوف صورة.
شكرا جزيلا Joseph. If in case you have just joined us, you're listening to the Sundown Show on iRadio with me, Madrama James. Now there is a report by that's IMF placing South Sudan at the bottom of the global list with that's capita GDP of just 251. Now we are asking you, what should South Sudan government do to improve its economy and lift people out of poverty? A couple of you have reached via that's our Facebook page, and we have got Gordon Salah. He's saying it's just because of poverty. And Gordon, if that is the case, and then what needs to be done? Share with us. Then we have Brian Odong. He's saying South Sudan really deserve this. And thank you for sharing your thought with us. Then we have Akok Carlson. He's saying if 92% of the population is under poverty, then what do you think? Meaning he is also subscribing to this particular report. And then we have Akile John is saying hello and how are you doing? Please text us exactly. Send for us a message on where you sending. Watching this program from as well. 0911-22986-986. Let me find out from this iRadio.
Madrama James Studio.
Bin Clinton.
in Clinton, in Jebelzinka area, my brother.
Marhab.
Topic taki jeli, yanana ba amuli sunu is that economic Canada country is going to be strong enough.
No.
Brother, aja white in South Sudan, zaman anna country 2005 zaman ta jalaba. Na bader kurju zira. Okay? Jeli gwan na country anda zaman na country Sudan wahid. Economic kan tamam, yani ajir kulu rekisi su. Mapa aja gali, akil malian, sunu malian, mabzol gitu kiri aja. Zaman daga Madrama jenis sana kan fijuba ini zaman jadi rizak. 2005 sana fijuba yani akil kifaya. Yani zol zan mafadi be aja ta zol. Zol mafadi be serega, zol mafadi be sunu yani zaman daga poverty zadu mafi. As an Sudan is an reduce poverty in South Sudan. Number one is agriculture, my brother. Agriculture is the backbone of any country in the world. Even America grow with agriculture. Even China grow with agriculture. Even Japan grow with agriculture. The backbone of the nation. And then take agriculture very serious in this country. And then 10 states, these 10 states, let them publish all the agriculture production in these all states and plus 3 administrative areas. That's why we are going to reduce the poverty in this country. Number one, the security. We need to have a strong army in this country. Ya jama, a strong army cannot go away na jama. Means government will do not take the Jalaba country while it's in Sarah. Get our independence. Army become weak. Now our army become weak. Yani not that army that they cannot work on government. And can have a strong nation in Africa. Our army is going to be a strong army in Africa all. And I'm not talking about the Syrian Senate to get our independence. Ya jamaa, kede ana der wole na tanna kubarta na takuma. Ya jamaa kede tu wodi army tanna de. Sakri tanna de. Biga kala jitala week very lesunu. I'm not talking about the Syrian Senate. I'm not going. You are very strong. Okay? To get our independence, to get our what? To get our resources of our country. We have petrols. Petrols are aja, and then lakin aja jadi kan agriculture production. Lazim karena pati agriculture iya state ya Madrama jenis. Iya state, iya payam, iya buma. Lazim kerema stable agriculture production. Wadi kebiri ada security. Insecurity. Nol bara kurjuket. Regabade. Nol bager kurjuket na security batal. It cannot be, my brother. That is why let our government, that government will be strong. Lazim agriculture demo hintu dele. Shukran.
Shukran akuna Ben Clinton. You two can do the same callers on 091102296986. Pork Rio is saying, hello radio, how are you doing there? Thank you. I'm fine, and keep those messages coming via our Facebook page. Another quick caller right here. Hi radio.
Yes, hi radio, how are you?
Tamam, community advisor from Bor.
Yes, it's me. You recognize my voice, really.
Welcome. So what should the government of South Sudan do to improve the economy and lift people out of poverty?
This poverty within South Sudan, they are ruled by some few individuals. There are some politicians which are generating this poverty of South Sudan. If South Sudan wants to improve the economy, they come and destroy that system that allowed South Sudan to improve the economy. For those people, if they accept that belong to this nation and are people of this nation, and there is no another country where they will be going and they will be belong to that country, is whereby our economy will go back. As you see, economy can be improved by agriculture, but now there is no room for agriculture. Insecurity, unknown gunmen, the same people of South Sudan and the government say this is unknown gunmen, and the same people killing their brothers and their sisters, in which they don't want this nation to grow like other nations. Let the government of South Sudan improve security. After security, agriculture will come up. After agriculture, everything will be improved and we will be happy for it. So that is the only solution we need to be done by government of South Sudan. Is we have to improve our economy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, Kilele John via our Facebook page is saying for the government to improve the economy and lift people out of poverty, one, the government need to go back where a problem come from. Let the government announce $100 to that's 350 SSP. Two, our roads are not responding to the economy of the country. Three, let the government stop that's hitting each other. And according to him, this way, then our economy will greatly improve. And he's writing from that Lopa County of Eastern Equatoria State. Thank you so much, Akile John. We have Noel is saying the government must introduce good policies for our economy to also improve. Later do mahanina setagad bi asma barnamij bita Sundown show maakum fi tekdima na Madrama James wa fi report bita IMF bugula junubin wale junuba Sudan economy bitomon amiskin fanagad basa lita bedabdero kuma yamulishinu ashan kev yarfa economy folk wa kaman yarfa nas bara min haya algawi al junubin gad bumuru min fiu aside tabenta bielga fiu suratanin sala fi yom ma biagder elga Akile shenzol bakulu maraten wala wide mara 09 wide wala itnin 986 بعد كسر التجارية دانا بيرجع وقدم توالي مع مشاركة Akile shenzol bakulu maraten wala wide mara 09 wide
with a new vaccine introduction of pneumonia vaccine targeting all children aged between 6 to 14 weeks. Take your child to the nearest vaccination center during the African Vaccination Week or Big Catch-up campaign.
Good morning, Mama Alice.
Good morning, Mama Ladu. Where are you coming from this morning?
I had taken Ladu for pneumonia vaccination at the health center to protect my child against pneumonia and meningitis. He was also vaccinated with other routine immunization vaccines at no cost. Is baby Alice already vaccinated?
Yes, she was vaccinated last month. Does she need to be vaccinated again?
Yes, she needs to be vaccinated with at least 3 doses at 6, 10 and 14 weeks to be fully vaccinated, immunized and protected against pneumonia.
Really? I just heard from afar that there will be a vaccination campaign during the African Vaccination Week, but I was not keen enough to get the details.
You know, pneumonia vaccine is effective in preventing pneumonia and deaths in infants and young children. This vaccine has just been introduced this year, 2025. A lot of children were not vaccinated. Some even travel without being vaccinated. I wouldn't want to see any child get pneumonia.
I didn't know that pneumonia is very serious, that it can cause meningitis and even death.
Yes. Pneumonia is a life-threatening disease caused by bacteria or viruses. The signs are cough, fever, chills, and shortness of breath, which may be accompanied by chest pain when breathing or coughing. Children who survive may experience long-term effects on lung function and increased risk of respiratory conditions like asthma.
Asthma or lung function complication? Oh, that sounds scary. How can I protect my child from this dangerous disease?
The only way for your child to be safe is when your child and all children in your neighborhood are vaccinated with pneumonia vaccine.
I will do that immediately. Where can I take my child for this vaccine? Hope it is not late.
No, you are not late. Pneumonia vaccine and all the other routine vaccines are available at all government health centers in your areas. Tell your neighbors with children between 6 to 14 weeks to be vaccinated.
I'm glad you told me. I will take my child immediately to the nearest health center for pneumonia vaccination.
Bring your child to the nearest health center and protect them from pneumonia and other vaccine-preventable diseases. This message is brought to you by the National Ministry of Health with support from WHO, UNICEF and South Sudan Women in Medicine.
The Sundown. For the news, views, opinion, debates and discussions. Listen to who is who talking about issues that affect our country and continent. Only on the Sundown, your eye on South Sudan.
Yes, welcome back from the commercial break. If in case you have just joined us, you are listening to the Sundown Show on iRadio with me, Madrama James. Now, as you might have heard, South Sudan is ranked among the poorest country. That's according to IMF report. And we are asking you, what should the government do to improve its economy and that's lift people out of that poverty. And this is basically because of the GDP, which is measured by that's gross domestic product. Now I've got a couple of your messages right here. Noel Korsuk is saying to increase GDP per capita in South Sudan, the government must focus on creating the right environment for productivity, education and investment. As citizens, I believe the government should do the following. 1. Invest in agriculture and local industry. Then number 2, improve education and skills training. 3, infrastructure development, roads, electricity and clean water are the foundation of development. Number 4, peace and good governance. Then a second last is support for that small and medium enterprises. Lastly, the government should also focus in that health. A healthy population is productive. Strengthening healthy system will reduce disease, increase labor productivity and improve life expectancy, all of which contribute to that higher GDP per capita. Thank you so much, Kenyi. Now let me turn to that live call here and find out more from you. iRadio.
Madrama Jamil.
Yes, Joseph.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. My input, my brother, what's supposed to be done by government, it is to make a strategy as an economic policy in the country. Because we have a central bank, if you have a reserve in central bank and you want to use them, you have to sit down and make a strategy about how to product income. The product has to be agriculture. We have agriculture bank. They're supposed to give the money to agriculture bank, and agriculture bank to funding the agriculture sector from the national level to the state level to the grassroots. Second, it is to make a political or inter-country economic agreement, giving money through Kenyan Commercial Bank. From South Sudan, you send them as a pound and then receive them as a Kenyan shilling there. The same to Ugandan. You have to make a commercial bank to Uganda through sending as a pound, them as a Ugandan shilling there. The same to Tanzania. Or it to Ethiopia also in Mahasa. Because we have those banks, even Ethiopian Commercial Bank is within here. If we're doing that, the economic rate of the the high rate of dollar will drop immediately, because many people are spending money out of the country, but they used to go and get dollar. If you get dollar, you have to come and send them to that particular country. And we have majority of the people in Uganda, in Kenya, and Ethiopia, and Sudan. If we are using local currency, which is a national currency, to other countries, we will not lose this situation. Because if you have Ugandan shilling and you have South Sudan pound, they could not go beyond the situation we are in. So also, you have to fund the health sector and the education sector. You can bring in the material that we needed. You can bring them as a government sector. If you brought the medicine to the national health facility and you distribute them to the state level and the counties up to the boomers level, the people will not be suffering, because these are responsibilities of the national level through central bank. You use central bank through benefit of the country. But right now, if we start blaming, people are surprised because they don't know how people are knowing that there is mismanagement. Because if there is no mismanagement, why dollar jump up from 220 in 2007 to now to 580,000? You know, from 100 to 1,000 of 100. It is a situation that you could not imagine that country can go like that. But it is because we push this day and we push tomorrow without a strategy. So what we thought as a citizen, and we are suggesting to our government, is to sit down and make a strategy. Economic strategy can change this weather. But if there's no economic strategy, we use oil money as the cargoes of Mr. A and took them to his own particular country that is knowing his money is being saved there. Because now people are trying to say my money will be saved in the country that I agree with them. So if we are using this policy of cargo, the economic situation will not
improve.
So let money from the non-oil revenues and the oil revenues and anything which is contributing to the country, to the finance of country, let be put into the central bank, and later on the budget has to be done through the financial guidelines. That's why the weather will change. But I don't think that in day of today to tomorrow things are going to change. Not because that situation is uncontrolled of the particular economic sector, and is the national government in particular is not in control. But if country is in control of the technical, which is academic, through technical in economy, the change may come.
All right.
But I don't think
Thank you.
the economists are doing their job, because things are being diverted.
Thank you so much. All right, that was Joseph here in Munuki. And let me talk to this one. Hi, radio.
Naam. Atakuwa Justin. Mbele hina baba.
Marhab Justin.
Naam, ana shifta taban haja birija economy shwaya, laana taban ana ma biara taban birija. Laana the South Sudanese people, they are in government. Yala kan kutuzula lela عشان بيعملوا حاجة يعني زول بدل يجي ينزل economic تاعته بيجي بيزيدوا تاني جدا وصعب شوية. أنا داير حاجة بس من الحكومة. في عندنا ولايات على 2 زي 3 لكورجيشي كاتو تمام مثلا يي أو قريب عندنا حاجات هناك مواصلات مليان في يامبيو ميس Guinness, whatever, هناك مليان يعني كان جيبوا بتدريب للناس هنا بثمن رخيص فداك ايكونومي ممكن بيرجع شوية لأنه أي حاجة ما بقى ما في كمان غالي لأنه الشوارع ده كله بقى كربان كان ما في طريقة كده كوريشو كده بتايي وتايمبيو ومالات بيجيب أكل كفاية أكل كده يكون مليان جوا مدينة تجوبة هنا بكيف ناس لو تلقوا جروز بشير تاكلوا بو ما في مشكلة ما في زول بلوم حكومة زيادة لكن سكة بقى ما في أي حاجة بقى معدوم بيا بطالتو. شكرا بابا.
شكرا Thomas من Gudela هنا. Akile John, once again, he raised a concern that according to his own study, there is lack of political policies in the country. And again, he is wondering whether some of these good messages shared by writers and callers on the radio, whether government officials are also listening to this. My brother, let me tell you, it is, of course, us. Don't think that government officials are really unique. They're also human beings like us, and they are listening to some of your recommendation, and that's why your constructive ideas are necessary for the transformation of this country. Otherwise, thank you once again for sending that message. Hi, radio.
Hello?
Sultana.
Asma.
Hi.
Kedekalana wadileta salam awal.
Shukran.
Yala nusolimu muslimin kullu jaman tawil.
Naam.
Wude kullu jana nalita kuta ana gani tikeleja ita nage wagi fuzola ligawani sugala kalas. Bes kolo istemir bes yala bes burusa ba akulu ana bigofulu tani ba akulu.
Faham de walai sukto bijazar tabligore sitani.
Okay, mape kalam. Ubuna bijubai. Yala ita hai wala tai.
Hai.
Kalama gida mrobu na kelea uwe nusuk. Kan gibel TikTok gibo gala kan modile ta kan kilinde giga kelita asa dure ana kitayana bonus dede. Ana basa dure ana galere na sabanin. Iyali ge mutu, Uswan ge mutu, Abubat ge mutu, Jiange katulu iyazol kijuba ini. Amulo haja ni wogi po harib, kuli ko harib wogi. Amulo security, kuli amni be kurta mam jurubin kullu, junub Sudan kullu. Kamulaya de kulu kuli amni kun fogo. Kuli nasara kurjo, Kuli nasara kurjo, de kurjo akil masa Allah, tanita betobiu, tanita bakulu. Jaman na gani kijuba de, mata haja bara gejibo. Sika ta yeyi de ana ge kore yoni, sika de kede kuli wodi, kuli sala be maram amuluta mangere, kabara ale kasuru de sala ota mam, lakadi fi morabu yinak. Mape nasa be kun jani. Yala amni pe mape jolo fi gaba kuli wo gufuna saba gaba gala stop. Mape haja tani jolo fi kun fi gaba. Kuli nas kulu tala juwa. Kuli nas kuruju, kuli nas akulu akili kifaya, getala fi junub Sudan tanna de. Na ba akulu min na be kurju anna be libisu min na ya kurju lakin aga de kan mafi haja tani ba mun nufsa to fi junub Sudan de anna bes ge kore ge jar ge dugu kilin lakin mafi haja tani ba mun nufsa to wonna kulu gera mutu mafi jolo gale be fadulu ugurus tanna de kulu silu bara nas kulu al kubar de mun silu gurus de bara junub Sudan ma ndu gurus la an gurus de mafi dakalina madarasa mulu dakili kullu iyala al bara de jibo akara dakili burus may kum de junub Sudan lakin burus kullu ge wadi bara dola de amulu kam de ko tumia o kam ita be limu fan de kullu ita be kumu fi dola o arok be silu yala ke haja ni junub Sudan wala shukran
jazilan Sultana Mama Maria ولين جينا توالي في نهاية مناقشة بتنا وشكرا لناصر تصل وكمان ديل الجرب لكن ما في فرصة ولا كان في زحمة وأنا كان معكم في تقديم Madrama James. According to, we have been discussing a report according to that the International Monetary Fund and published by that visual capitalist ranking South Sudan as the world's poorest country by GDP per capita 2025. Thank you so much for sharing your thought with us. I've been your host, Madrama James.